Thanks to a late Callum Wilson goal, West Ham have picked up a vital 3 points in a 2-1 victory at home to the Toffees. Everton, they took the lead through a Soucek header inside the first 10.
On Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Corder is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patti Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to 15 under for the tournament, just one shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in rugby league, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in rugby union, there was one match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear of 5th placed Exeter, having played a game more. For the Red Bulls, that was their 13th defeat in 14 Prem games this season, and they remain rooted to the bottom of the standings. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with football, as Nottingham Forest have taken a giant step towards securing their Premier League status after claiming a sensational 5-0 victory away at Sunderland on Friday night. A Trey Hume own goal got Forest up and running before Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus added 3 more goals in the space of 6 first half minutes. Elliot Anderson then rounded off the scoring in second half stoppage time. The result has moved Forest 8 points clear of the relegation zone. They're on 39 points and no top flight team has been relegated with that total or more since 2011. It also ramps up the pressure on their relegation rivals West Ham and Tottenham. Elsewhere, and there was also a big game in the Championship on Friday night with Macaulay Langstaff scoring a 90th minute equaliser for Millwall away at already relegated Leicester. That point was enough for the Lions to move up to second in the standings, but they are only a point clear of Ipswich in third, and the Tractor Boys have 2 games in hand. If Ipswich get a point at West Brom on Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Corder is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patti Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to 15 under for the tournament, just one shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in rugby league, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in Rugby Union, there was one match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear of 5th placed Exeter, having played a game more. For the Red Bulls, that was their 13th defeat in 14 Prem games this season, and they remain rooted to the bottom of the standings. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with football, as Nottingham Forest have taken a giant step towards securing their Premier League status after claiming a sensational 5-0 victory away at Sunderland on Friday night. A Trey Hume own goal got Forest up and running before Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus added 3 more goals in the space of 6 first half minutes. Elliot Anderson then rounded off the scoring in second half stoppage time. The result has moved Forest 8 points clear of the relegation zone. They're on 39 points and no top flight team has been relegated with that total or more since 2011. It also ramps up the pressure on their relegation rivals West Ham and Tottenham. Elsewhere, and there was also a big game in the Championship on Friday night with Macaulay Langstaff scoring a 90th minute equaliser for Millwall away at already relegated Leicester. That point was enough for the Lions to move up to second in the standings, but they are only a point clear of Ipswich in third, and the Tractor Boys have 2 games in hand. If Ipswich get a point at West Brom on Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Corder is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patty Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to a 15 under for the tournament, just 1 shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in Rugby League, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in Rugby Union, there was one match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear of 5th placed Exeter, having played a game more. For the Red Bulls, that was their 13th defeat in 14 Prem games this season, and they remain rooted to the bottom of the standings. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with football, as Nottingham Forest have taken a giant step towards securing their Premier League status after claiming a sensational 5-0 victory away at Sunderland on Friday night. A Trey Hume own goal got Forest up and running before Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus added 3 more goals in the space of 6 first half minutes. Elliot Anderson then rounded off the scoring in second half stoppage time. The result has moved Forest 8 points clear of the relegation zone. They're on 39 points and no top flight team has been relegated with that total or more since 2011. It also ramps up the pressure on their relegation rivals West Ham and Tottenham. Elsewhere, and there was also a big game in the Championship on Friday night with Macaulay Langstaff scoring a 90th minute equaliser for Millwall away at already relegated Leicester. That point was enough for the Lions to move up to second in the standings, but they are only a point clear of Ipswich in third, and the Tractor Boys have 2 games in hand. If Ipswich get a point at West Brom on Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Corder is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patty Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to a 15 under for the tournament, just 1 shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in Rugby League, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in Rugby Union, there was 1 match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear of 5th placed Exeter, having played a game more. For the Red Bulls, that was their 13th defeat in 14 Prem games this season, and they remain rooted to the bottom of the standings. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with football, as Nottingham Forest have taken a giant step towards securing their Premier League status after claiming a sensational 5-0 victory away at Sunderland on Friday night. A Trey Hume own goal got Forest up and running before Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus added 3 more goals in the space of 6 first half minutes. Elliot Anderson then rounded off the scoring in second half stoppage time. The result has moved Forest 8 points clear of the relegation zone. They're on 39 points and no top flight team has been relegated with that total or more since 2011. It also ramps up the pressure on their relegation rivals West Ham and Tottenham. Elsewhere, and there was also a big game in the Championship on Friday night with Macaulay Langstaff scoring a 90th minute equaliser for Millwall away at already relegated Leicester. That point was enough for the Lions to move up to second in the standings, but they are only a point clear of Ipswich in third, and the Tractor Boys have 2 games in hand. If Ipswich get a point at West Brom on Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Corder is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patty Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to a 15 under for the tournament, just 1 shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in Rugby League, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in Rugby Union, there was one match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear of 5th placed Exeter, having played a game more. For the Red Bulls, that was their 13th defeat in 14 Prem games this season, and they remain rooted to the bottom of the standings. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with football, as Nottingham Forest have taken a giant step towards securing their Premier League status after claiming a sensational 5-0 victory away at Sunderland on Friday night. A Trey Hume own goal got Forest up and running before Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus added 3 more goals in the space of 6 first half minutes. Elliot Anderson then rounded off the scoring in second half stoppage time. The result has moved Forest 8 points clear of the relegation zone. They're on 39 points and no top flight team has been relegated with that total or more since 2011. It also ramps up the pressure on their relegation rivals West Ham and Tottenham. Elsewhere, and there was also a big game in the Championship on Friday night with Macaulay Langstaff scoring a 90th minute equaliser for Millwall away at already relegated Leicester. That point was enough for the Lions to move up to second in the standings, but they are only a point clear of Ipswich in third, and the Tractor Boys have 2 games in hand. If Ipswich get a point at West Brom on Saturday lunchtime, then they will move back into the automatic promotion positions. Elsewhere, and in golf, Nelly Korda is in control of the first women's major of the year, the Chevron Championship, at the halfway stage. She fired her second successive round of 65 on Friday to move on to 14 under par, 6 shots clear of nearest rival Patti Tavatanakit. Elsewhere in golf, and English brothers Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick are continuing their fine seasons after they carded the round of the day at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which is a pairs event on the PGA Tour. The Fitzpatrick brothers carded a 7 under 65 to move on to 15 under for the tournament, just 1 shot behind leaders American pair Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer. Elsewhere, and in Rugby League, there were 3 Super League matches that took place on Friday. First of all, Leeds Rhinos remain top of the standings after they carded an 8-try win over Catalan's Dragons at Headingley, prevailing at 46-4. Warrington are just behind the Rhinos in second place after they inflicted more misery on Wigan Warriors, claiming a 23 points to 6 success, whilst Hull FC were also amongst the tries. They were really impressive as they demolished Castleford by 50 points to 10. Finally, in Rugby Union, there was one match in the Prem on Friday night, and it was a big one as Bristol Bears won 52-19 away at Newcastle Red Bulls. That result for the Bears has moved them back into the top 4 of the standings, albeit they are just a point clear.
Players, so that's the game plan, is it, from Southampton? Just look to try and catch Man City out. They definitely got the players to do so, but here comes City.
Yeah, they do. They've got round the back here. The layoff to Reinders, and it comes pinging back off the post. The ball comes back in. It's still not been cleared away, and it's cleared off the line. Oh, wow. That could have been goal number 1. The flag had gone up anyway. I don't know which point. Probably not when the shot came pinging back off the woodwork. So they're dead unlucky. There are City.
Yeah, we're just seeing for the replay. I think it's for the initial one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Marmouche makes the run down the right channel. He's offside as it gets played through. Still, good little bit of football though from City. Reinders smashing it off the post. Keeper beaten from that. No, he's not beaten. He's saved it onto the post.
Wow.
I thought it was straight onto the post. What a save that is.
Well, fair play then to him. Daniel Peretz didn't know that the ball had gone out. His flag didn't go up initially, did it? And so he's putting a great save there. In his mind, that's keeping his team in it. But you know what? It doesn't matter about the flag as such. As you know, that's it. He's in the game, feeling good about himself. He launched the ball long, looking for Stewart. Ake wins the header. The second ball is won by Saints, who trying to work it down the right-hand side. Breed, little touch back there. And then Cam Bragg gets it out of his feet. He goes back, Howard Bellis. And don't forget, Southampton very comfortable with the ball at their feet. They've been a passing team for a long time, and that's a kiss of death, isn't it, saying that? They immediately lose the ball. Well, I have the feeling that Wembley would be in sunshine had not the stands been that big. There's some sun down at the far side behind the goal of Big James Trafford. It's been a beautiful day. I suspect there'll be a bit more sun tomorrow in the second semi-final. It's played a little bit earlier in the day. We'll be covering that game as well with Chelsea and Leeds locking horns. A little bit of enmity between those two sets of fans, I think, traditionally, as the ball picked up by Kovacic, who just dabs it back on his inside. A little flick from Cherky, who's just been asked to go on and influence the game, I think, and that's genius from Pep, because he's such an influential player. He's got so much skill about him. You just want him constantly on the ball. And he's working his way into that Bernardo Silva role, really, where he can play anywhere he likes. Reinders on the ball now, little drop of the shoulder as the City gaining control. And then Reinders trying to get the cross in. It's taken a deflection, that will be a corner.
Yeah, well worked again from Man City. It's just patient in it. Southampton are going to have to suffer quite a lot during this game in terms of possession. They're not going to get the ball that much. It just depends on what they do when they get it. You're right though with Cherky. I mean, he's such a great player to watch, isn't he? Just the way that he sort of takes control of the game. He's been given the free will to basically do whatever he wants with this match and try and turn it for Manchester City. Definitely a threat. Southampton will have to just constantly keep eyes with him. Foden know how to take this corner.
Just looking at the turf at Wembley, it's like every blade of grass looks perfect, doesn't it? It looks bob on. Anyway, ball into the box, not being dealt with, and then eventually it's smashed away by Janda, I think it was. Some defending to be done. As Ake shields the ball well enough. Reinders back on it now to Cherky. Again, little flick with his outstep, not the best from him, but John Stones fetches back. Ball then with Cherky again, little heel, little flick out to his right hand side for Foden then. Drop of the shoulder from him, but he's given the ball away. Ran into trouble now, and it's 3 against 3. Southampton need to use the ball quickly, and they do. The ball behind Cienza, but he gets the chance to run at Stones. The ball didn't go out. Stones' hand went up in the air. Little touch back then by Janda. And the ball sort of going back to Wellington, and then more orderly ball for Southampton with Wood and Harwood Bellis. Yeah, they need to use those breaks, don't they, a little bit more wisely than they did. They had 3 against 3, but not for long.
Yeah, exactly. And Cienza is going to have to be probably going to be at the heart of everything that Southampton do. I think on the break, I mean, we barely mentioned Tom Fellows yet. I don't think he's really had a touch of the ball, but when they do get at the City defence, every pass has got to be on it. This is the longest spell of possession they've had now, and it's just at the back. They've been dispossessed as well. Ake sticking a foot in.
Yeah, I like Ross Stewart, but he needs to protect the ball, shield the ball today. John Stone's a good passer, but he likes a bit of pace in those old legs now, dare I say. I know that they've got Nico Gonzalez stepping back in to almost make it a 3. So it's not like they're leaving the shop entirely bare, but I can see a time when maybe Fellows or Azaz can get a run through the middle. For the moment, they can't get hold of the ball. I was trying to work out whether it was this season or last season when Kovacic played a blinder in the semi-final and then got dropped completely out the squad for the final. Imagine that, man of the match, playing at Wembley, showing how good you are, and then, oh, well, no, we didn't need you for the final.
Just Pep Guardiola, isn't it? To do something like that. Can never really get in the mind of that man and what he's thinking. It's another one of his moments, but Southampton could be in its fellows.
Here is Fellows driving forward now. Stones runs away from him. He cuts the ball back. An opportunity. Was there a foul in the box? Don't think so, but just a beating of the ground there by Jander. Craig Pawson didn't have to think too long about that. The cutback made him second best there, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he really expected a penalty to be given as well. He sort of doesn't really appeal for it. Okay, we can see from the replay, slight bit of contact, but probably not enough to bring it down.
And here, chance for Marmoush, and he, well, it's a sliding block on him. Surely the flag goes up. It does eventually, and yet again, Omar Marmoush has found himself just off. He looked offside by a mile, didn't he? But was he? Let's take another look.
So, with Nunes playing it forward, I think he is just a bit in front of him. Nathan Wood isn't to know that though. He doesn't know that he's in an offside position. Gets back, and what a great tackle that is! Fantastic bit of defending from him. It's what Southampton are going to need to produce throughout this game if they aren't going to have any hope of getting into the final. Great defending from him. Wouldn't have counted anyway, but still counts.
Yeah, brilliant that from Nathan Wood. But they got themselves in a little bit of a mess, and the Egyptian there just trying to thread the eye of a needle, but he just turned too quickly. It's the second time he'd found himself offside. Howard Bellis on the ball, 11 minutes on the clock, and I've enjoyed the opening to this. I feel that Southampton have got something, but equally they could be just weighed down by good play, couldn't they? Because the City keep the ball ever so well. You know, we've already seen Reinders hit the crossbar, even though it was from a move that was offside. Here's an opportunity. Cienza, was he offside this time? Well, he's driving forward into the box. He goes, an opportunity. He's put it in the back of the net. Will the flag go up? I think so. I thought he was off, and the flag does go up. He finished it well enough, but he's...
Yeah, it looked offside, didn't it? I mean, the Southampton fans are still celebrating. I don't think they've realised just yet that it has been ruled out. It looked quite obvious when it got played through. We'll have another look at the replay now. Maybe it will get changed. Can see Azaz picking the ball up, and he is offside. It's the end of the pitch at Wembley. The sort of way that it's cut shows us quite a nice angle of it. Actually, he's definitely playing beyond the last man there. Good finish from him though still, and takes it well. Unlucky for Southampton, at least had the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, not going to count.
So yeah, a couple of forays then, and here an opportunity for Ryan Ainuri to get on his bike. Howard Bellis comes across. Really good cruising speed there to just nick it off his toe end and clear the ball away. So we've had a hit post and a goal, but none of them count if you can't keep on side. Southampton just showing that they've got something, and again showing that you know one of their best players is that where the obvious gap is. You know, Nunez will go walkabout. He will try and overlap, and he'll be caught out. And John Stones is not particularly quick, so Cienza didn't even need to be offside there, really, did he? Because he stood that far apart from where they are. He would have had a chance anyway.
Yeah, he just didn't watch his line enough, did he? Just sort of maybe a bit too eager to get in behind, and it's cost him in the end there, because if he just hangs back a little bit, he'd have been onside and through. There was no one tracking him on that side of the pitch. Rather bizarre, really, defending from Manchester City. But yeah, still chance blown for Southampton. They're coming into it nicely.
Yeah, and then there's a little foul in midfield. Clever little cut by Cienza. Buys himself some time, and Reinders can't help himself but gets stuck into him. Well, BBC said celebrations cut short, but they weren't that short, were they? They were celebrating for a good long time. Let's pretend we're not seeing the flag, you know. But for Southampton, they've definitely got a shot to nothing here. Good play against Cienza, just a little heel flick from him, and that ball had to be put out. You get the feeling that, you know, when you've got momentum, I know it's in a different division and all that, but momentum in any division, you know, is wholly positive. You believe, you know, you go into it on the crest of a wave with the confidence that you can beat what's in front of you. It's 11 against 11, you know, and they're hitting their straps, and who knows? There's no, you know, they had a slow start to the ceiling, but now, you know, to the season, but the the ceiling for this Southampton team could be way and above the Championship, and it could be halfway up the Premier League. We don't know.
It definitely could be. I mean, this team that they've currently got is so much better already than the one that they had last season, isn't it? I mean, Sienza himself already praised him a lot. As of course works nicely in there. Ross Stewart, when he's fit, is a very capable goal scorer. So yeah, they definitely, if they get promoted, I mean, you'd like to think they'd learn from the mistakes of last time as well, with it being so sort of fresh in the memory. They'd be able to throw a lot more money and be smarter with their recruitment, and yeah, just overall have a better go at it.
So yeah, they at the moment we're just seeing a little foul on Gonzalez. He was moaning at the referee, but Craig Pawson didn't really want to know. Ball out right hand side, crossed into the box, contested. And then it might break for Ryan Ainori, and he going to run through a challenge, but James Breed just recovers in time to lay that back to Howard Bellis. Ake heads it back where it came, and then the ball just bobbling around a bit. Foden can't quite get there, but then Kovacic has done really well, run through a brick wall for his team. The cutback doesn't work out, and then the out ball for Fellows again takes a deflection, but at least Southampton will still have it. Their fans at Wembley don't half look colourful today. Southampton, some have got the red and white shirts, some the yellow. It's a real bright prospect where their fans are sat, and then of course the other side pretty much all blue.
Yeah, it's a nice little contrast, isn't it, between the two. Quite a fan of the Southampton away kit, and the fact that they've all come in that kit as well, not just the usual red and white. It's the same end that the Leeds fans will be sat on tomorrow when they face Chelsea, of course. That'll definitely be a great spectacle, of course, those two old rivals getting to meet at Wembley. Yeah,
I can't remember which cup replay it was, but between Chelsea and Leeds was absolutely ferocious.
1970, I believe.
Yeah, and they reckon if it was played today that they only about 3 or 4 would have ended up on the field. It was, honestly, if you get a chance to watch it on YouTube or whatever, it's laughable, some of the fouls that went in. It was like kung fu or something. Anyway, here another chance for Omar Mamouche. Is he onside this time? The flag didn't go up, and he's into the box trying to find a little cut. He can't find it. Fellows then, he's having a fight with Ryan Ainori. Ball back with Mamouche. Runs into trouble. Looked like the flag stayed down for him this time, but he just couldn't get his shot away. He was Chirky at the edge of the area. Runs into a challenge. Ball taken off his toe end there. It's a really good challenge by, I'd like to say Finn Azaz. I'm not sure. Southampton have the ball. Should be able to play out for the back now. The ball back to Peretz, and he launches it long. A little chest from Stewart. Doesn't find his man. And then John Stones goes all the way back to his keeper, James Trafford. Well, it's 0-0, but I would have to say I think Southampton holding their own at the minute.
I think they'll be really pleased with it. They've made City have to scrap quite a lot so far already in this game. That's exactly all they've wanted to do coming into this one. Make it horrible for them. Don't let them, if you are going to let them get possession, at least don't let them sort of dominate the game still, if that makes sense. Don't let them step onto you and be firing shots at you. They've not really done that so far. Peretz has only had that one save to make, and it was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. So yeah, pretty much exactly what they'd have wanted from the opening 18 minutes.
Yeah, and so far, although we seem to have seen a lot of action, we've not had an effort on target. Wellington runs the inside track and gets there ahead of, I think it was Nunez, trying to run around the back of him. He'd done well, the Brazilian there, the Southampton fans clapping it. Yeah, loads in that yellow strip. A whole mixture of strips, aren't there, really? And a very colourful sight. Anyway, it is goalless at Wembley. Looking at Josh there.
Someone's in a Brazil shirt as well. They've all come, and they've just picked anything yellow out of the wardrobe and thought we'll wear that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those blow up 5 bananas and all sorts of things there, weren't they? But anyway, here come City in blue kit this season with a sort of white sash across. That's quite a good kit, really, this season. The City. Here's Kovacic again on the ball. Little drive forward from him. He keeps on going then, and then he shoots right across the face. Wow, it's a brilliant little run from Mateo Kovacic. It all opened up there, didn't it? They didn't expect him to go that far, but that was brilliant, apart from the finish. Yeah,
hands on head moment there for Pep Guardiola. Big chance for Kovacic, and I mean, this is too easy from Southampton. He just walks through. It's not even that great bit of skill from Kovacic. He just goes straight into the space. Southampton have opened up. We've been praising the defence so far, saying they've been tight, they've been organised, looked really compact, and they just went to pieces there for a moment. Kovacic being afforded the freedom of Wembley and didn't quite get the reward that he wanted at the end of it.
No, absolutely not. But, well, made a good start to the game, good lively encounter. Well, here's your bingo card. Either of Liam or Noel Gallagher, and you can dab 2 of your bingo things off there. Anyway, long ball forward here for Southampton. Not a bad ball looking for Stewart, and it just won't quite break. Just cleared away, but the sort of clearance that tells you there's a bit of consternation that anyway would do. Defending, he's absolutely not the strong suit for Man City, and if Southampton can put them under pressure and get forward, they could well get their rewards. Finn Azaz needs to get involved a little bit more. He's in the box at the minute, waiting for the ball left hand side. Cienza just lays it back. A little in and out movement from Cameron Bragg. City look like they're taking a breather now as Southampton are on the ball. Harwood Bellis quite high up the field. Little ball turned around the corner. It was a clever ball, but it just couldn't find its target there. James Bree was a little bit on his heels, wasn't he? He needed to be alert to that, and he just wasn't. But again, it's like sort of half chances. I don't think City defend properly, so Southampton can put it together. I think they could easily score today.
Yeah, they definitely could. I mean, we've already said about it's a second string Manchester City team. This is a defence that hasn't probably played together this season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first time this back four has been employed this season by Pep Guardiola, so they're definitely there to be got at. They're not settled, and yeah, Southampton have already looked dangerous when they have got on the ball. Cienza praising him a lot so far, Fellows, and Stewart's not really been involved too much, but give him the service and he's definitely got a good chance of scoring.
Yeah, for the moment Phil Foden just can't get a hold of the ball and was shrugged off it there. Here's Cienza, is he onside? He might well be onside. The flag has not gone up here as he puts the ball into the box. A real opportunity, and it's come right off the head. Forehead of Stewart. The flag did go up, but he's saying I had to wait. I suspected it, but yeah, by a couple of yards actually. Really, he had his back to it, so he's not to know Cienza. He's turning out, isn't he? And of course the ball didn't hit the back of the net anyway.
Yeah, you just got to think with those chances. I mean, surely it's that clear that that's offside, that doesn't need to be let. You know, the chance doesn't need to be played through. I mean, it was so obvious. It's about 2 yards offside in the end, as we saw from the replay. Linesman right in line with it. He does say he has to wait, and that is the rule, I guess. But just sometimes question that rule.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's good habits, isn't it? You don't want to get in the habit of putting your flag up and then get one wrong. You just let what's going to be as Reinders now peels out inside right. I'm going to go down Wellington's flank in this first half. Not much has come down the Ryan A. Nouri route. Just to say that they're probably going to go that side. As Foden on the ball. Just find Ryan A. Nouri. Chance to take his man on. The former Wolves man. Just lays the ball back into midfield for Nico Gonzalez. It's a great ball through the middle for Foden. He's out of his feet. The shot comes in. That's blocked away at source. Turkey tries to win it back and he can't. Again, pretty decent defending.
Yeah, all organised again. That Southampton doing a lot better than they did for that Kovacic run. So as well, when Turkey's like that, you've got to be fully on it. And yeah, they're just standing his way in the end. You almost think he's going to let it through for Foden. And he finally gets the shot off. Too many players in the way though. Good block.
I tell you what, we're halfway through the first half and it's absolutely flown. I think it's a good game to watch this. So it is 0-0, and it's going to be Josh now to take us through to half time.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Performance so far from Southampton. They'll be satisfied with the way that this first half has gone so far. They have had the ball in the back of the net. Of course, didn't count because Cienza was in an offside position, but they've defended well for the most part. Manchester City haven't fully clicked into gear just yet, but you imagine still with the players that they've got on the pitch, likes of Cherky, Foden, you can turn it on at any given moment. Guardiola is miles out of his technical area there as well, trying to talk to James Trafford. Thought he was marching down the line then towards the corner flag, but yeah, still not quite the same angrier reactions from the Southampton manager. Of course, Tondereka has come in and done a brilliant job, as we've already said so far this season.
He looks a lot like Pep in. I've been just watching his mannerisms, and he's like he's kicking every ball, and he's got something to say about every single aspect of it. And it's like when somebody's on top of you like that, and but when somebody cares about everything, you have to care yourself, don't you? And I sort of like that style of management.
You've got to try and match the energy, haven't you, for your own players, and this is what he's going for. Southampton have got a free kick though in a good position here. Wellington's going to send it high and long into the box. Stewart gets underneath it. It's back towards the centre of the pitch. Fellows there going down under a challenge, and that is a free kick again for Southampton. Cherky is the man who's committed the foul. This time it's a lot further and a lot more advanced than the one that Wellington just had to take, and imagine definitely shooting position.
Yeah, Cherky couldn't help himself there, could he? And for Tom Fellows, yeah, he just nicked that ball away from the challenge before it came. He saw it coming and he thought, right, aye, I'll win us the free kick here, and he did just that. The stadium looks glorious, doesn't it, in its entirety, Wembley. I liked it as it was, to be honest. Twin Towers, but they've done a good job with it. And it looks like there's some great viewing to be had at the steeply raked sides of Wembley. Another chance here for Southampton.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with this free kick. It's a good position for them. They look like they might be crossing it, but I won't be surprised if the shot is taken on. It's going to be Cienzo who actually lets it run. Wellington crosses it into the box. Stones with the header, and then eventually Marmoush can bring it away now. City might be able to catch Southampton out on the break. Marmoush trying to weave his way through. It's a brilliant tackle though in the end for the man in the midfield. It was Bragg, wasn't it, who slid in, the Scottish midfielder. Great stuff from him to stop City getting away on the counter-attack. There is another Premier League game going on at the moment as well. Arsenal taking on Newcastle. The Gunners have just scored, so that's not great news for Manchester City. Ebere Eze is the man who's put the home side in front in that one. Yeah,
the man who had such a good run in the FA Cup last season with Crystal Palace. Last hurrah, wasn't it, with the Eagles before he moved on, but he might be getting more silverware this season as well. Online for maybe a double, of course, but we don't know yet, do we? There's still a lot to play for. And for City, it's been one of those funny seasons, really. It's taken them a while to get going. They've done a real rebuilding job, but I think, again, they'll come out the other side of it. There's still one or two key cogs to put in place, but then they'll have another brilliant potential championship side, won't they?
Yeah, certainly will. I mean, having a poor season, they could end up with a domestic treble at the end of it. Arsenal might end up with nothing as well, so it's still a lot to play for. City, of course, went and won at Burnley in midweek with a 1 goal, which might have been a little bit disappointing considering it was their easiest game left. Southampton attacking, and this is great football to let Breen down the right side. He puts it back into the box. Stones in the way. Not the greatest clearance though, and he's bailed out in the end by Kovacic, who has to run this into his own corner flag. Eventually gets the clearance away under pressure from Finn Azaz. They want a free kick for it, Manchester City. Did have his hand on Kovacic, but not sure they're going to get one.
No, I wouldn't have given it there. He's under pressure. He makes his clearance. There's nothing wrong with the challenge there. He was shoulder to shoulder. That was so close to being good. And again, whenever Southampton do break, I just get the feeling that, you know, for City, like I said, defending is not their strong suit. It's just up to Southampton to try and create a few more opportunities if they can. It's all easier said than done, but they've had a fair amount of the ball this first half.
Certainly have. Wood plays it through the centre now for Yander. Not towards Cienzo now, up against Nunes. Two real starting 11 players in this City side. Cienzo then moves into the centre, tries to play it through the lines. It's not worked out though. It's great sliding tackle there on Cherky, and Southampton really starting to play some nice stuff as this game goes on. Fellows tries to move inside. He's fouled as well by Aitnouri. Maybe a bit soft.
Yeah, really soft. Aitnouri, you can tell look on his face. Again, Fellows is one of those who he's got this habit of flicking the ball away, taking the contact. He was on his way down even before he got up sides, Ryan Aitnouri. But he knew what he was doing. He played for a free kick and he got it.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he wanted to get out of that one. We've now got this free kick of Southampton. They've had a few so far in this first half. All have been in crossing positions. The two have been out on the left side. This one is more on the right wing. So we'll see how it's delivered into the area. It's Yander, the man who's going to deliver it. And he's going up for it as well. It's not even James Bree who stepped up for it. Instead, he's put it in front of the defence. It's a great ball and almost there for Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He didn't throw himself at it in the end. I'm not sure how close it was to him. Bree knows that it was a good delivery, but Harwood-Bellis just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, they seem like they're onside. It's like almost a delicious ball round the back. It was just a tad too far, wasn't it? But nigh on perfect, not quite. But the goal kick, look at them waiting for City to try and play their way out. They're doing a PSG there, all waiting on starting lineup, engines running, ready to go.
Half an hour gone though at Wembley Stadium. Still goals between Man City and Southampton. City dominant on the ball in the early stages, but Southampton have grown into it nicely. As Kovacic now brings it away down this left-hand side. He's shown the other way though by Finn Azaz. Kovacic now back in towards John Stones, sporting the armband for Man City this afternoon. Nunes just to dart down that right side, but forced back to Gonzalez instead. Southampton just penned him, but Gonzalez making steady progress, still weaving his way through. It's great play from him as well to find Cherky. Actually though, again, City are shown the other way. Nunes now has it on the touchline, wants the run to be made ahead of him. Cherky eventually is going to play it in towards Stones. Just moving up the pitch slowly at the moment, Man City, just being patient, not throwing the kitchen sink at it. Reinders now again towards Nunes, up against Wellington. He's trying to dart inside, but again, Southampton remaining really compact. Been impressed with them so far in terms of their defending. Really were good attacking wise. They've really been able to stop City getting any sort of rhythm in this game. Foden just about lays it off for Reinders. Back towards Phil Foden. Good interplay from Manchester City without really going anywhere so far. They're not getting frustrated, but just not really getting any sort of joy.
No, it's right. Yeah, they look a bit shapeless, really. Obviously, they've got so much talent. They can deal with playing a broken style of football, and eventually, if all it is working little triangles in and around the edge of an opposition box, then they should find a breakthrough, shouldn't they? And that looks, to some extent, what they're trying to do. Phil Foden looks a little lost out there, doesn't he? Really, and you know. I would also say there's no great width to what City are doing. I've been impressed by Cienza. He's made a good start. You can see that he's not frightened to try his tricks and flicks at Wembley. You know, he's there to do that. He's the talent. You know, Stuart can put the ball away. Bragg won his 50-50 challenge, didn't he, when he needed to. Fellows has just nicked the ball a couple of times. But here's Foden, and here comes City.
Yeah, lives it off now for Aït-Nouri down the left side ball. Probably wanted to come in a little bit earlier there, but Aït-Nouri waits on it instead and goes for the defensive option. Back towards Kovacic. Getting on the ball a lot so far in this game. He's looked pretty good as well. There's Kovacic. Can't play too well though, because if City win, then they'll probably get dropped for the finals. The last time you were alluding to, John.
Yeah, well, that's it. I don't know how you come back from that. It's like, I know that if you're at City, then you've got to sort of bury your ego a little bit, don't you? Because you never know what's in Guardiola's head. Who could know? But it still must have come as a real slap in the face. That I mean, he genuinely he was brilliant. And then, oh yeah, but you're not even in the squad for the final.
Yeah, it was a harsh one on him. Have to see if it's the same result this time. Aït-Nouri almost winning a throw in there. He's getting more involved throughout this game, getting some decent bit of joy down the left side. Doesn't really put any crosses into the box though just yet. He's done a good job of marking him out so far. James Bree is the right back down that side. He's been helped by Tom Fellows instead. Bree is now going to take this throw in, launches it down the right side. Kovacic with the header. Foden now playing it over the top for Stones. I said that over the top, I said the over top of his own defence for Stones to regather. Gonzalez now bringing it over halfway.
I'm just looking at the benches, and obviously City's is just a joke, isn't it, with the amount of good players on it. But Southampton have got options off their bench as well. Cameron Archer's got pace about him, and running up against tired legs late on, he's going to be an option. Shea Charles has got something about him that I like, and I'm surprised he's not starting. Edozie, you know, he's got a cut on him as well, so they have got some decent options here. Here comes City.
Yeah, Mamouche into the box now, big chance, and it's a good save at the back there from Peretz. Oh, his near post. He was slipped through nicely by Kovacic, the Egyptian. Kept to his finish low. He did well to his credit, but the goalkeeper comes up with a big stop.
Yeah, so I'd expect him to make that stop at the near post. Marmoush has been lively today, got his shot away. He's doing what you expect a striker to do, which is to try to play on the last man. Here comes City again. It's all congested. It's very central, isn't it? Not no great width about it.
So many players in the box for Southampton. It's towards the back post, and Reinders, he goes for the spectacular, the overhead kick or the scissor kick there from the Dutch midfielder. Just left unmarked, wasn't he? Bree wasn't close enough to him. He just about stayed onside as well. Always a tough effort in that situation, but ultimately he ends on the floor and the ball ends up behind the goal.
I think that the thing is about the offsides is when everything's so narrow, it just ends up such broken play. The back line ends up not being a line at all. It's just all desperate stuff. And it was Harwood Bellis who was playing the Reinders on, so he's in a clever spot. Wasn't a great finish, was it? You see Nick Shannon there, former Southampton legend, used to score his goals for Southampton and England, wheel away, with his arms up in the air, old school. And anyway, I think he was a decent racehorse trainer as well. But anyway, he's in the crowd today. That's another one for your bingo card.
It's definitely obvious the Gallagher brothers were going to be spotted at some point together as well. Not arguing with each other.
They don't. Well, they might be arguing, but they apparently they don't hate each other. It only took a few £1 million to sort that out, didn't it?
Southampton back on the ball though now. It's Kovacic who wins it off them though. Aitnour is waiting to the side. He's surely fouled there. He could have been fouled numerous times. It was Yander who eventually brought him down. Chirkit getting a bit physical there in the midfield, but City still retain possession. Aitnour now, a few step overs, gets round Fellows. Tracks back nicely the former West Brom man. Aitnour is still going though. He's dragged to the floor there by Fellows. City want a free kick right on the edge of the area. They're not going to get one. Fellows bringing it away. It's eventually forced back though towards being Southampton now inside their own penalty area. Howard Bellis not taking any chances. Kovacic showing the other way. He's put one out for a throw-in as well. Southampton will be very happy about that one. Of course, Taylor Howard Bellis as well, goal scorer at Wembley Stadium before, scored for England, which is interesting book quiz question, I'd say. The fact that Taylor Howard Bellis has scored for England. I think so.
Well, I wouldn't have got there. I wouldn't have got there with that, not at all. I would have thought. I think I seem to remember him having the one cap, but I certainly don't remember him scoring. But anyway, yeah, the Southampton fans looking on. I think. Do you know what? In a game against City, you could, even at this stage, you could be 2-0 down and staring down the barrels of the void of nothingness. But they're in the game, aren't they? They played there quite brightly. At times they look like they're going to get swamped, but everything's very narrow. I don't understand quite why they're not playing with today, Savino, Doku, and all those guys, but they're not. So we'll see how it pans out. But they at 0-0, they're very much in the game.
Taylor Howard Bellis scored against the Republic of Ireland in his Nations League game in his England debut at the end of November 2024. Safe to say it's pretty far away from the England team at the moment, but if you get into the Premier League and he has a good season, you never know.
There was all sorts of talk of this and that club looking at him, but you know what, there was a lot worse place to be than Southampton, and he might go up this season. He might get an FA Cup final, who knows. But Ake makes a mistake, and Tom Fellows on the ball. He's done pretty well. Yeah,
Yander now finding Wellington, and Southampton can get away on the break again. They're looking pretty quick with this one so far. Cienza again on the ball, moving up towards the edge of the box now. City have got players back for the time being. Cienza moves inside, lays it off for Fellows. Here's now Bree in a crossing position. He gets his cross in as well. It's easily headed away though by Nathan Ake. About 6.5 minutes left to go of this first half, and it still goes between City and Southampton. But Southampton to cause some problems now. Again, it's Wellington chipping the ball over the top. Stones meets it with the header, lays it off to Nunes. Now back to Stones. He's going to go all the way to the byline before he sends it long. Yander wins the header. Not going to reach Bragg though, and City can get away now. Kovacic, heavy touch, but still takes it round James Bree. Kovacic, a lot of space down the left wing. Wants the overlapping option from Aitnour, who's sprinting forward to help out. Here is the former Wolves man now as well. End-to-end stuff in the last minute or so of this game. Foden playing it off again for Kovacic. The attack has just slowed down now as City Look to pen Southampton in once more. Gonzalez playing a couple of 1-2s before choosing the wide option in Cherky. Chests it down by the touchline. Up now against Wellington. Moves onto his left foot. Now for Reinders. Centre again is Gonzalez. Kovacic, if I can get my words out. Chips it over. Wellington's going to let that one go behind the for-a-goal kick, and once more Southampton remaining strong.
Yeah, I'm still watching. I'm frustrated watching Phil Foden. I just thought I'd watch him for a couple of minutes and see how he. And he'd shown for the ball. His teammates seem to be ignoring him to some degree. I don't know what that's about, or whether that's just my perception of it that's wrong. But yeah, he just having no effect. And of course, he go on and score a couple of goals now, won't he? We all know his quality. But yeah, he just slightly tailed off a little bit. Fenazaz, as I mentioned, he needs to get on the ball a little bit more. And who's that who's gone down? Looks like Mateus Nunez. Rico Lewis is on the bench. I would assume that he would be the man coming on. He can do what he likes. Pep, didn't he? Could even play John Stones, the right back, and Kusanov. Looks like he's the man getting ready. So I'm wrong again. And again, there's a good player in there in Kusanov. I know that, but I don't think organisationally he's great. I think he can get caught out and get caught out of position. I think when he gets involved in a scramble with somebody, he's as good as anybody, and he's strong. I keep seeing him pick up poor position. I don't think he's a right back either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do now.
Yeah, I think he's developed into a good defender, as Kusanov, but maybe not at right back. So we'll see if Southampton, can exploit that. Will be Cienza as well going up against him, who's certainly the danger man for the Saints. I'm not really sure where the injury came from as well. It seems it was just an off-the-ball one and went down to his feet. Guardiola's using this as a chance now to get some instructions into all of those City players. They're all crowded round him. Kusanov is stripped and ready. I think he's putting his bib on though again for the time being. He takes it back off, can't really decide what he's doing with it. Guardiola's now gone over towards Kusanov to bark something at it again.
I was just thinking we'd had a stoppage, and then here we are. Yeah, just looking at that detail, the back of that Southampton shirt, 76 on the back, and yeah, that was quite something for Saints fans. You look at the history of the club, then obviously, you know, they've had their successes and all that, but you know, not few and far between really. But the FA Cup in 75-76 was a big deal. They've been runners up 3 times, runners up in the League Cup, so you know, runners up in the old First Division as well. So as proud a club as it is, and as big a club as it is, and it's the size, there's not much silverware in the history, you know.
No, there isn't. I mean, it's a good chance for that to change. They've got a great catchment area as well, haven't they, Southampton? Not too many teams down in that part of the country. It's sent long up the field. Stones hits it down though. Game is back underway. Nunes should be okay to continue, I think. Just looking at the attempts, stats as well in this game. City have had 5. Southampton, for as good as they've been organised and they've set up well, haven't actually had an attempt so far in this game, if you don't count the offside ones, of course.
Well, yeah, if we count the offsides, they've had a goal, haven't they? Yeah. So, you know, but and obviously that was taken well by Cienza, and that it's like at 0-0, that sort of doesn't matter, I guess. But they showed what they could do with a little bit of luck. You know, clearly they're not a bad team. The fact is, though, we've not had an awful lot on target, have we? And so keepers have not had a lot to do, and that means that we haven't had that much drama. 1 effort on target, and I guess that was the Marmoush near post effort, which wasn't bad, but we expected the goalkeeper to save that. So it's been a very quiet first half.
It certainly has, as we're into the final minute of normal time. Not anticipate too much to be added on, maybe just 2 or 3. So that injury to Nunez, who is back up to his feet though, and he's back playing now as well. So Kusanov is going to have to wait a little bit longer to be introduced, and City found the space there for Cherky. Nunez is there on the overlap. Inside to Foden now as well. Foden trying to get on his left foot, trying to weave his way through as well. Cienza, I think, is put a touch in there just to stop Foden in his tracks. And when you mentioned, haven't you, Foden not in being quiet, and he's couldn't quite change it there.
No, Kovacic there put great ball into Cherki. He's got brilliant vision of the game, hasn't he, Kovacic? And again, I think he's having a good game. You know, pivotal, and he's playing with plenty of energy in there. But here comes City.
Gonzalez now has Reinders free to his left. Might try and go it alone here, the Spaniard. Eventually does settle to pass it back towards Reinders. Southampton again have got so many players inside the penalty area. It's hard for City to break them down. Ignore it, cross towards Cherki. If anyone can break them down, it'll be him. Moving slowly towards the centre. 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half at Wembley Stadium. Foden, the pitch a bit wider on this occasion. Now inside though to John Stones, who's come up to support the attack. And finds it over for Nunes. Southampton looking to just end this half as solid as possible, not giving anything away. So it might to get that goal. Move forward. Right, Nori now. Got a bit more urgent from City. Gonzalez thinks about the crossfield ball, goes for it as well. He's got Cherki on his back. It's a good ball to find the Frenchman now. A few step overs, moves inside of Wellington. Cherki still going. What a challenge that is though from Wellington. He slides in the penalty area. He had to get it right. He's lost the ball though, and Cherki now moving forward. He's been penalised though. Could see from his reaction, he couldn't believe it. Wellington getting the free kick.
Good old battle that, wasn't it? And Wellington, he sort of stretched the leg out and didn't get it, and I thought, oh, here we go. And I was actually expecting Cherki to drive inside of him and get his shot away. But then just at the last, he's somehow off the deck. They scraped the ball away with his foot. And then when Cherki's fighting back, I thought, oh, that's great. He's won the ball back. And his eyes were like saucers, weren't they? Couldn't believe that the referee had blown his whistle on that. And I thought he was a little bit unlucky there, Ryan Cherki.
Certainly was. Kick is eventually taken long. 30 seconds left of the added 2 minutes though. Can Southampton end it with a chance? Yander heads it forward. It's going out for a throw in though to City, just about in line with their 18-yard box, although Nunes wants to take it far further forward than that.
Well, in the corporate seats they're going in, and I don't blame him. Yeah, lovely meal in there. You know, and if you
intensity in there as well.
And if you want your pudding, you're missing the start of the second half, you know. But honestly, there's some lovely food in there.
Makes it all worth it then in the end, doesn't it? It's Gonzalez though now for City. That will surely be the last action of the first half. It is as well. Still goalless between Manchester City and Southampton. Not too much intensity so far, but the Saints will be happy with their defensive performance so far. So at half-time, Man City 0, Southampton 0.
It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Peretz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienza had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Peretz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienza had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Peretz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienza had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The Game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Reinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Ryan to hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Sienz had the ball in the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche wriggled in the inside left position. Grinders had hit the post, but that was an offside move. Leo Cienz had the ball at the back of the net for Southampton, but that was ruled out for offside. It's half-time at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup semi-final. It's goalless. Man City and Southampton locking horns. The game played in the middle of the park in a big lump, really, mostly in front of Daniel Proutz's goal, but he only had one save to make when Omar Mamouche. Right, we're back at Wembley. It is goalless, and doesn't look like either team's made a change. City on the front foot immediately, but immediately as well they give the ball away. John Hogan, I'm joined by Josh Makin. It was a disappointing first half. I thought Southampton played quite well, but neither team created that much, did they?
No, they didn't really. It was sort of like a training ground game, wasn't it? For a lot of the half, we've just seen a few shots on the cameras as well, and people pretty much in the stands sleeping as that game was going on. The most exciting thing happening was Southampton having that disallowed goal. And that they've not even had a shot so far. They've been set up really well, and defensively, can't really say anything wrong about them. Could be a chance early doors though, Fellows.
Yeah, Fellows now driving through and into the box he goes. That's a great challenge. Nathan Ake getting across there, and he had to get that right. Fellows had just got goal side of him only for a second. Ooh, a little foul on just before that, but anyway, Ryan Nuri caught his man, but was he offside?
I think he's got to play it earlier, Fellows, hasn't he? It's sort of like he's taken too long. He either needs to take the shot on or play it across towards Sienta, who is waiting at the back post, and it's a big chance at the start of this half for Southampton. Definite foul on Azaz in the build-up. We wouldn't say any further by VAR. I'd say that has to be a better moment for Southampton.
Still, very good challenge from Nathan Ake. Just play what's in front of you, don't you? And yeah, he did a good job. Before that, like we said, did a little foul on Finn Azaz, who was mowing in the bucket there to our referee. He might have brought that back for booking, but it's not been that kind of game, so I think he's happy to avoid it. And for once, I'm happy to let him avoid it, because we don't want any of that nonsense today. And the game's been played in good spirit, really. Here is Kovacic on the ball, out to left-hand side, and little standing start. Fellows gets back in then. And yeah, I've been disappointed by Ryan Nuri full stop since he's gone to Man City. I thought he'd just absolutely blossomed, but maybe the club's a bit too big for him. He was always great at Wolves, I thought, but and when Cherky gets the ball out of his feet, Ake finds Kovacic, finds Ryan Nuri. Can he do this time? He looking to cut into the box, and again the same pattern as we had the first half, really. They're popping the ball around in little triangles in and around the edge of the Southampton box. Southampton defending a great big consolidated lump. There's no great width to the game, and no surprise then that teams are finding it hard to find a way through.
Yeah, it's really hard, isn't it? If you say, again, second string side, a lot of players who haven't played that much football, they can't really move the ball as quick as they need to, although brilliant for Mike Norrie. It is, and then his out ball, not quite good enough for that, allows Howard Bellis to clear his lines, and he thumps it up the field. There's only one man back, but Stones will play that back. Just to mention him being disappointing, then he bursts into life, doesn't he, Ryan Nuri? Commentator's curse or something, but just reminding us that he's got some quality. Long ball over the top now, looking for Mamouche. He may have been offside, but the flag didn't go up, and the shot comes in. Big deflection, and that ends up kissing the roof of the net. The flag didn't go up, and so he must have kept himself on. Started his run, yeah, really early. Got it right this time, not bad. Yeah, really good from Omar Mamouche. Credit to Nico Gonzalez as well. Good vision from the Spanish midfielder. Just seeing him making the run off the defender. It's good from Taylor Alvarez in the end. He just gets back to defend it, gets the deflection. He's got his corner.
They do. And, well, Reinders then takes it short. And the ball then, again, just worked back to Reinders. And again, he decides to put the ball in because it's still a loaded box. And then Sienza tries to run the ball out, but he's swamped, and the ball back with the City, who again absolutely dominating play without necessarily looking obviously like they're going to score, but they've got the ball. Hard to score against them if you don't have it, and Southampton pretty much don't. I would reckon the possession would be about 70% this half, if not more. But Ryan Nuri runs into a challenge and so close to having the ball just taken off him there, but not quite. And the ball with Marmouche, but chasing back toward the halfway line. Bree makes sure he keeps honest, and then the ball dabbed back and all the way Stones back to Trafford. Good first time ball from him. Takes pretty much two out of it. And then a long ball over the top. Have they timed it right? If they are, there could be a goal here. Ball laid back is a terrible one, and I think the flag maybe had gone up at that point. But and if it didn't, then that was a real wasted opportunity. But yeah, I'd like to see that again and see if it was offside or not. But it looked like they were miles off, but nobody stopped. And then the cutback was poor. It's City all over Southampton in this second half. We're still 0-0. We're 51 minutes in. As Kovacic runs down the blind alley, he comes back out with the ball. And then Ryan Nuri again. They mostly attack down the other flank in the first half, but they've decided to switch a lot of play left-hand side and got Mamouche rolling down there. Now Aki into the box he goes. His cutback is no good, and the defending is pretty good. They still haven't cleared their lines, and now they have, because Jander just launches it, but to nobody particular. The ball keeps coming back. So they've decided they're going to have a two-pronged attack. They didn't go down the left in the first half, but there with Ake got right round the back. Reinders then a good little dribble from him, and the ball now goes to the right-hand side. And Foden, a little cut there. Nunez ball to the far post, nobody in particular, and that will be dealt with by Bree, who didn't quite put the ball out. And then Ake recycles it, finds Kovacic. It's one-way traffic. Start the second half. Kovacic on the ball. Decent ball to Foden. A little drag back inside into the box now. Ryan Cherky, ball whizzed across the face through the box. Then Ryan Nuri puts the ball in. It's not really there for Omar Mamouche's header. And he, at the wrong angle, puts it straight out. City getting closer.
Yeah, just starting to ramp up the pressure. We're starting to get in behind Hartley a little bit more down those channels. Southampton aren't able to track the runners. I was just about to say they're not doing enough though with the balls into the box. They put a few poor ones in, but then Nunez chips one across, then Cherky goes and hits one a bit harder. Exactly what you need to be doing. There's no one waiting for the cutbacks as well. So you've got to try and make the goalkeeper work and put him in an awkward spot. That's much better from City, and those fans behind the goal will certainly appreciate it. Wellington
lays the ball back, then to Woods, and then the keeper finds Harwood Bellis, and he then will he tries to thump it long. It's an errant ball from him. Ball will break all the way back to his keeper Daniel Peretz. He can pick it up if he wants and then launch it. Nico O'Reilly warming up, and I think he would expect that he would be starting over Ryan Nuri in a big game like this, but you know, a lot of the subs there would have a claim to be starting, and it's almost like a second string for City, but the quality of it's still staggering. As that's brilliant from the Kovacic, little in and out. Then he's rolled the ball to his left-hand side, and Mamouche then brilliant pace from him, and then Howard Bellis just tags him and he brings him down. He didn't need to. But Mamouche just showing absolute quality and pace there.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant from Mamouche. Can sometimes criticise him for his finishing and stuff like that. I don't think he's quite the finished article, but that was brilliant from him there on the ball. And yeah, just really well to get a free kick in a dangerous position.
Yeah, good play by Kovacic. Just before that, we've hit 54 minutes, and well, City have been pretty good this second half. And at the moment, the Championship side just struggling to keep up with them. Half-time Arsenal Newcastle with the Gunners goal to the good. There's the ball now just the edge of the area. Now Foden with a strike and leaning back. Well, you kind of know what happens to that. He just hasn't been involved, and I think you know, I don't know why they wait, but I guess about the hour mark they'll change him out.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. I mean, he's just not been able to influence the game as much as what we'd expect from Phil Foden, or at least the Phil Foden of old. I think a few years ago, he gets that exact chance on the same position, probably pings it into the top corner, but Phil Foden this season's just not quite hit the heights, the player that we know he can be. And yeah, it's a poor effort that skies it, and it's always rising.
Southampton on the ball right now. They've been strangers to it in this second half, as Wood picks it up, and he's not even waiting for the hour. He's seen enough, hasn't he? And I've seen enough. I pondered him in going off at half time, because he just not had much effect, as we see Finn Azaz now battling a chance for Stewart, and he goes right-footed. It's an effort on target from Southampton.
It's their first shot, I'm pretty sure, of the entire game as well. Not counting one offside, of course. It's a decent enough effort from Ross Stewart. James Trafford, he always sees it though. It's always coming straight to him. Easy save for the goalkeeper to make, but it is better from the Saints. They've at least tested, if you want to say that, to James Trafford. Yeah, getting up the pitch and having a shot. Ross Stewart needs a lot more of that.
He does, yeah. So it was something as City picked the ball up again, and like we said, I think Foden will be looking at it. But they're going to make a couple of changes. I just wonder who else would be going off. Mamouche has shown it pretty well. Do they need Nico Gonzalez in there? Don't know. They can do what they want, really, can't they? They've got an embarrassment of riches. But I guess when you're going on all fronts, you measure it out, see what you've got. Kovacic's playing well, but he hasn't had much game time. He certainly doesn't look like he's tanked yet. He looks like he's got loads in the bank. But and he picks the ball up. He's constantly been on it. And again, City dominating and Foden again back on the ball. And he just shifts it back on his inside. Need to work it round the corner. Nunez typically very narrow as he goes on. Cienza keeps an eye on him just about. Ball into the box. That's been headed away by Wood. Breaks to Phil Foden. And an easy ball out his feet for Cherky. He managed to get it through. Then he gets his shot blocked away by Wood. The ball breaks for Nunez, and a shot comes in blocked away. So some defending to be done, but they're making sure that Daniel Peretz doesn't have to make saves by keep blocking the shooters.
Yeah, it's a monster performance so far, isn't it? From Nathan Wood, especially at the back for Southampton. It feels like every time they have a shot, it's just been blocked constantly by the Southampton backline. They're throwing themselves in the way of absolutely everything. Those changes finally are about to be made. Phil Foden is going off after 57 minutes. You were right, John. We expected him to do so. He wasn't influencing the game nearly enough. And Doku and Savino getting ready to come on.
Yeah, and Kovacic goes off, having played really well. I think it's just a case of game time for him, and you know, he takes it on the chin. But I thought he was just a best player, really. Kovacic, Cherk is in brilliant form, obviously. For me, they're going to get better. They've just brought better players on. Last time I saw Savino, he was up against Lewis Hall, who many were talking him up for England, but Savino tore him apart. And I thought it was a bit of a coming of age performance from Savino, who'd always been a sort of bit part performer, really, but really showed his quality. And then Doku, you can't say enough about him. He's just incredible, isn't he? So, and he's kicked on from somebody who played in fits and starts to somebody who scores goals, provides assists, and is the finished article now. And here he is on the ball, and on the bench you'd be thinking, no, don't bring him on. The shot comes in, and that's just whizzed around the corner. Reinders not frightened of giving it a go, is he?
It's a brilliant effort, that from Tiani Reinders. I don't think the goalkeeper is getting to that. I can see the replay, it's literally just a few inches wide. Great effort from the Dutchman. You are right as well, though, with Jeremy Doku. Fantastic player to watch, and seems like he's finally added that end product to his game. We always knew he was a great player on the ball with his skill and his burst of pace, but he's now able to finish chances off and really make the most of the opportunities he gets. So he's really developed into that winger that Pep wants, and in a game like this I think he's perfect just for breaking through the lines and trying to break Southampton down. He'll have a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's a game breaker, isn't he? That's the thing. So can they find him? Cherky now on the ball again, out his feet, finds Savino. He bombing on now. Will take Wellington on. Brazilian against Brazilian, and he's putting the right foot crossing. Wellington blocks it away. He's done well enough there, but at the expense of a corner. Savino wants to take it quickly, and he does. Ball back on the inside then, and all of a sudden it's like they've come alive, isn't it? Nunez then to Reinders. Doku controls it, and then he's thinking, oh, it's a great ball into the box opportunity. Little cut back, and a side foot shot goes over the top. It's like shots in now. Mamouche then side footed, just leaning back, puts the ball over the top.
Just needs to be better there, doesn't it, from Omar Mamouche? This is great play again. Doku involved straight away. Lovely ball through for Nori. He lays it off for Mamouche. He's not got anyone round him. He's just got to get that down. Somehow he skies it over the bar. It's not even close in the end from the Egyptian. Poor effort from him, and the chances keep coming for City.
He had Nathan Ake at the side of him, who could have done a bit better. We're going to see a couple of changes now. Well, Stewart's run his race, playing that lone furrow for too long, and they're taking him off. And Shea Charles is coming on, who is a player I admire greatly. So. Yeah, that couple of changes to liven things up. I think lone striker, you're working hard. It looks like was that Kyle Larin came on. So that was the first change. He got number 9 on his back, so no big surprise. And Cameron Bragg he'd played well, but yeah, the Northern Irish international, who I've seen a lot of because we cover virtually every game Northern Ireland do, and I always think he's a good lad. You know, saw his brother playing today. Covered Sheffield Wednesday. Not been a great season for them, but yeah, for Southampton it still could be a brilliant season. They're 0-0. We've gone over the hour mark, and here is Doku on the ball now. A chance to run his man into the box. He takes follow into the box. He scrapes the ball in there. It's not been dealt with. Savino now drops the shoulder. Wellington just hangs on in there. That's brilliant defending from him. And then Cienza's a lovely ball, and now a chance for Lauren to show what he's got. He tries to just get on the outside of Stones. He just needs to hold that ball a little longer and just wait for Cienza to make that little break past him, and he just couldn't wait, could he? Too eager.
Yeah, just in the early moments, isn't it? And when it happens when you've not had a lot of the ball, you sort of snap at moments like that, because you know you're not getting much joy elsewhere. Just a shame in the end there for Southampton. There is the space to exploit for Man City. We said it in the first half, you know, the back line isn't settled. They are there to be got at, just not quite making the most of it at the moment.
Well, they can't get hold of the ball, can they? Here again comes Ryan Cherky, drives into the box. It's a ball driven across. Oh, it's waiting for somebody to put that in the back of the net. Well, Marmouche nearly slides into the back of the net, not quite, but he just can't get there. It's just delicious to watch on the ball. He just drops the shoulder. Half the stadium goes one way, doesn't it? And yeah, Cherky, just a brilliant footballer. He's going to have a great career in the Premier League. As Doku now beats the first man. The ball, then they just pass it sideways. Now Nathan Aki, they're all parked at the edge of the area again, waiting for it. There's only Marmouche in the box though now. Doku gets in there, forced to come back. They've got a couple waiting in there. Ainuri in the box now, Marmouche. As the ball with Reinders at the edge of the area, and Nico Gonzalez. And the ball goes Savino. And again, is he going to take Wellington on? You bet your bottom dollar he will. And rolls a great ball into the box. Nunez round the back then at the byline. And the ball just taken off. He wanted too long then. But the ball just tickled away from him. And it will be a corner. But they're coming on strong, City, aren't they? I can't imagine Southampton can hang on like this.
No, they certainly can't. I mean, we've just seen a replay again of that ball from Cherkin. You know, the footwork is amazing. It's like his goal against Arsenal. He just weaves in and out of players like that. It's unbelievable. He's on the ball again now as well in the penalty area.
Yeah, little step over, keeps hold of the ball. Cienza can't get to him, lays it back. Savino. Then he shapes to do something. A little stab ball from him. Cherky in there again. Goes down to blind alley, comes back out with the ball. Savino with a strike. And that's a good save by the keeper. But the ball breaks through the box now too with Doku, drops the shoulder, but that was picked. And now Southampton, can they do anything on the counter-attack? Well, they do break now into the opposition half, and the keeper comes out. Trafford's done really well there. Wow, excitement breaking out, and Guardiola, he's all over the place, isn't he?
He celebrated that like a goal there when James Trafford came flying out. He was literally nearly on the pitch celebrating it, and rightfully so. I mean, it's brilliant goalkeeping from Trafford. You think Southampton are finally going to catch City on the break, and the goalkeeper's there. Is Savino again though? Yeah,
just drops the shoulder, does it again. He's in the box, ball at his feet, just lays it back. Stones then, a little ball to Cherky. All the little heel drags and flicks from him, just great. Great to watch. Savino again on the ball. Look at the control. He beats one, he doesn't beat two. Does not beat two, and Janda takes the ball away from him, and then can Cienza. He's absolutely surrounded, does really well. Janda's first touch was good, and they're having to be brilliant just to find an out ball there. But they've really got hemmed in this second half, and City have brought better subs on than the guys they started with.
Exactly. I mean, that's the problem, isn't it, for Southampton? You can try and deal with all these players City have got on the pitch, but then they can just bring on these fresh new ones. It's a good effort from Savino as well. That other chance, maybe not as quiet in the corner as he'd like. Perez sees it all the way and gets down nicely to his right. City just starting to purr a little bit more though, to really lay it on to Southampton. Can't see them coping through all of this. Well, I mean, some of the fans have actually fallen asleep now as well. We saw it at the half time, but this Southampton fan clearly not interested.
He's had a long day, hasn't he? Anyway, it seems to be a weird thing to do, to spend a boatload of money and then go sleep somewhere. Anyway, paid his money. But he can do what he likes, that lad. But at the moment, he's in the land of Nod. Maybe a goal will wake him up. But it's still Man City 0, Southampton 0. And while it stays 0-0, you just get that feeling they haven't done it. And as well as they're playing City, it's just like one break, one goal, and all of a sudden, you know, a final they're used to getting. Last three times they've been in the final, but that's all in jeopardy. So they look most likely. They look like they're going to score. They're going to do this and that, but they haven't. And so there's still that hope for Southampton and their fans. Doku's on the ball though. He's there to take the hope away. Again, ball at the edge of the area, fizzed in by Turkey. Then a little heel from Ryan. It's delicious, but it just couldn't find a way through. And then Larin trying to get on the ball, but City imperious at the back. So they're like Harlem Globetrotters at the minute. Here they go around the back with Ryan Nouri. That's a brilliant last-ditch challenge to block him off. They're on the raggedy edge of what they can do, and Taylor Harwood-Bellis there just had to be foot perfect, and he was. Southampton trying to hold the shape with some players outside the box, but they just can't get the ball back, can they? And inevitably they just have to funnel back. They've got the ball. Can they hold on to it for long now? Well, the answer to that is probably not. Tom Fellows again spoons the ball out and gives it away.
Yeah, it's just needless, isn't it? I mean, they can't even get out of their own defensive third. Totally penned in. Laren's not had a touch, I don't think, since coming onto the field of play. Total City dominance, and I have to imagine it's going to be soon when they get this goal.
Yep, maybe. Again, Doku just lays it back, edge of the box. Marmouche wanting to get there. A challenge comes in from Shea Charles. And then it's adjudged that he was fouled. Well done, the Northern Irish international. And we now are 3/4 of the way through this game. We're listening to independent off-tube studio commentary. And it is goalless at Wembley. And it's going to be Josh to take us through to full time.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Just saw it there with Shea Charles. Brilliant from him. He just got to the ball before Turkey to get stamped on. It wasn't enough for a yellow card or anything like that. But City's attack just broken up. And Southampton able to finally get themselves out of their own half. A long time since they do it. Again, the camera's focusing on Noel Gallagher. Liam not behind him this time, so maybe they have had that fallen out, but we'll see if the cameras pan again. Probably will do. Peretz has got this free kick, which is going to boot long up towards the Man City box itself, straight back to James Trafford. And what we could do without moments like that, Southampton, just allowing City to come straight back onto them. It's going to be Gonzalez bringing it forward. Nico O'Reilly is getting prepped to come on as well, and I think Erling Haaland is as well. So they're getting the big guns on in the next few moments. We'll have to see who's coming off for them. Aït-Nouri now though for City wants to release Doku, but he's just tracked by his man. Aït-Nouri still goes on. Now eventually does find Jeremy Doku, sprinting towards the centre. It's back towards Nathan Ake though. Southampton really need of a breather at this point. So much pressure being put on them. Again, sideways to Gonzalez. City not going anywhere. Nunes.
I think they need a breather from the mental pressure of it, but I actually stood in a lump. They're not really having to work that hard, are they? You know, so I'm watching them there. Just I think they're like ready to burst, but like mentally, it's all like keep watching him and him and him, and the ball popping about. That's what will be taking its toll on those guys.
Yeah, it's like the concentration, isn't it? Just the trying to stay alert, trying not to make any mistakes. Must take it up, mate. Must take its toll, I should say, on these players. We've got this corner to deal with now as well. It comes in from Savino towards the back post. It's headed away this time. Charles. City will come again though. Doku lets it run behind him. He's now up against Yander. Doku up towards the other box. He's got round Yander as well. Up towards the byline. Aït-Nouri's waiting for it. Instead he finds Gonzalez. Cherky. 25 yards out, moves inside, cuts onto his left foot. There's too many players in the way of him for the time being. He finally hits it. Wood with the block though, and Bree then heads it away. Larin trying to get a touch as well. Southampton have got themselves a free kick though, as the push is being given. And the substitutes are going to come on. Nico O'Reilly and Erling Haaland, both about to enter the fray for Manchester City, so they're going serious.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? So Mamouche goes off. I thought he played quite well, but kept finding himself offside, didn't he? Had that one little burst where he shot and it was saved near post. But he looks lively. He's got a lot of pace about him, and he looks like he should be a second striker, really. But was up top by himself. Erling Haaland wants to face like thunder, and yeah, for Ryan Ainouri and Nick O'Reilly, it's sort of like for like, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. They're both left backs, aren't they? But they're both really good attackers. They'll probably play more as left wingers in this game because of how much City are going to be attacking. We are into the final 19 minutes now. So we're still at 0-0 between Man City and Southampton. Nick O'Reilly and Erling Haaland both on the pitch. Is it going to make the difference that Pep Guardiola wants? Ball goes long. Wellington is going to let that go out of play because it went off a Man City player lasting out for a Southampton throw-in. Ball's available at the moment, so they're going to have to just wait a little bit. Again, focusing on those City fans. They really do put some miles in, don't they, across the season. The amount of times they're at Wembley Stadium, I mean, it's no surprise that a little bit of the top section hasn't been sold out for Manchester City. The amount of times that they were there in February, but there's a chance now. They've nicked the ball high up the pitch. Haaland, maybe a chance now as well for Gonzalez in the box, and Perez makes the save. Might fall again for Gonzalez. Cherky with the shot this time. That'll be Reinders with the left-footed volley, and somehow Manchester City still haven't scored. They want a penalty for a handball in the build-up. I think it will be checked. That came as a result of Cherky's shot, and somehow Southampton are still level.
Well, from the moment they gave the ball away, they're in big trouble. Right foot to strike, good save, and then the ball comes back. They're claiming a handball, but I don't see how that could be given. The ball hits Shea Charles. It's a good block from him on the inside, but if it hits him on the elbow, whatever, his ball's tucked inside. And then the final shot from Reinders, lack of composure really, and I think he had a bit more time. I expected a goal there, and it didn't come. Look at Pep Guardiola, just wide-eyed there. He can't believe that didn't go in.
Yeah, he's looking extremely stressed at the moment, isn't he? He just wonders how his side aren't leaving.
It kicks every ball. You know, he had that little break on the touchlines, didn't he? And you thought, we were saying about him, oh, at least he'd be able to knock off a little bit, and of course he couldn't. We watched him, and he was beside himself up in the stand as much as he would be in the technical area. He kicks every ball, and he absolutely lives on his nerves, doesn't he? The day before a game, he can't eat, can he? He gets so nervous.
I've never heard that, does he?
Yeah, no, he's just a bag of nerves and all that. So it's really weird, isn't it? But he certainly lives the game.
Yeah, it feels like he needs a rest at some point. Just let him have a lie down, and maybe that'll sort him out. As he's gone through the years, he seems to get more unhinged on the touchline. Something that the Arsenal game as well was extremely animated, even more than usual. O'Reilly poking it through for Doku to try and run onto the end of. Can't quite get though, as Brea's beating him to it. Lays it back to the goalkeeper who sends it long. Gonzalez chests it down for O'Reilly. Ake will now move up towards the halfway line. Stones, not too much to do so far in defence as John Stones, but still looks good on the ball as he usually does. Cherky now up against Yander. And Savino to his right. Savino wants to have a run at Wellington. He might be able to do that as well now. He plays it for the 1-2 with Cherky. Gets it as well now. Wellington's missed it. Lays it off on the edge now. Gonzalez, he doesn't want to shoot, especially not in his left foot. Now for Stones. Almost into the final 15 minutes.
I was just thinking, if somehow Southampton go at the other end and get goal in the break, it'd be an absolute travesty. I've never seen a performance like it. They're just stamping all over them, aren't they? They just look too good.
Doku now with the shot on the edge of the area. It's blocked and it's sent behind by Shea Charles. Another corner to come for Manchester City. I mean, I don't think you can be as much under the cosh as what Southampton have been for the last sort of 30 minutes of this game. It's truly one-way traffic. They've got a problem now as well. I think Wellington went down injured a little bit earlier.
He's played really well,
yeah.
And he's going to be a big miss because he's just about kept Savino quiet. Before that, he did a good job on Phil Foden. 70% possession for Man City. They've had 18 shots now, maybe 19 with that last. Just dominance, isn't it? But there have been a lot of blocks, so they only managed 3 efforts on target. And we won't be saying, oh, Daniel Peretz, the Bayern Munich loanee, is man of the match or anything, and keeping him out. So he's actually been protected by the mass strengths of the defenders in front of him pretty well.
Yeah, and they've done a great job on it so far. I already praised Nathan Wood and Taylor Howard Bellis, but the fullbacks, as you say, Wellington, been really good. James Bree as well on the other side has had to come up against the likes of Doku in this game, Ford and Cherky. They've all dealt with them really well up to this point. They're going to have to make that change though. Wellington isn't going to be able to play the rest of this one, so it's going to be the change. It's Matsuki who comes on in place of him. He's going to have a job now trying to take over from Wellington. He could be capable of it. Wellington's number 27. This corner eventually going to be taken. It's taken short actually towards the edge of the area where Cherky picks it up. Right-footed ball towards the far post. It's not a good enough one in the end. It's an easy claim for Perritz. Wants to get Southampton away on the break. Long throw forward. It's intercepted by Savino. He finds Doku as well. Could be a chance now. Southampton might be caught out. It's poor from Doku. His pass goes straight into the feet of Yanda. Now lay it off for Larin. Back towards Bree. He doesn't take any chances. He sends it long down the field. Cienza can try and run on to the end of it. It's good defending though from Nunes, who gets ahead of him. Hake looked like he was fouled there. Nothing given though by the referee. Hake has stayed down as a result of it. So Riley will put it behind, put it to the side for a throw-in.
They're winning all the 50-50s and everything. There's nothing, and then they also get lottery tickets tonight, these Man City players, because they're winning everything, but it's 0-0. And I don't know how it's happened. Aki got a bit of a dead leg there, didn't he? And the Southampton players take a drink or two on board. But like I said, yeah, mentally I think they've had to work hard. But actually physically there should be a lot left in their legs, because really all they've been doing mostly is stood at the edge of their own box watching the ball pop around. So it's not like they've been having to run the length of the field and back time and time again. They've not. So weirdly they should have a lot left in their legs. Ton the record looks on, but your brain would be smashed by the way they've been dominated. I don't know what you do about it. It's all right saying they'll be positive and hold the shape, but when they were trying to hold the shape, they just got played through so easily, and then they end up having to go back and chase back. It makes you not want to hold the shape, because you just think, I'm wasting time because I've got to be running back in a minute. So that's their problem right now, Southampton, is trying to burst out from the back. But here they've won the ball high up the field. Yeah, rare mistake from Cherky. It allows Janda in. He lays it off towards Cienza into the final third now. Still going, it's Matsuki, the substitute, edge of the box. Finners' right-footed shot! Oh!
Finners' what a goal that is! Southampton have been thoroughly battered in the second half, but what a goal that is from the Irish international. He finds the top corner. No chance for James Trafford, and somehow it's Manchester City 0, Southampton 1. I cannot believe that, and I think the hairs on the back of your head are stuck, because mine are. And just as the ball's been given away, Cherky's having a dream of the game. Everything he's done has worked out nicely, and he gives the ball away. And you don't give it away to Cienza because he knows what to do with the ball. And Finners has done nothing. He's done nothing in this game, because mostly he's had to chase back and be defending at the edge of his own box. But he picks it up, and it's like clear vision. This isn't about bad defending. This is about somebody absolutely pinging a Royal the Rovers shot out of nowhere. And he finds the top corner, and he can't believe it. I can tell. I'm looking at his face, and he's thinking, where did that come from? Where did that come from? But again, we take a look at it. Cienza's ball is decent. He's on the overlap, but he just turns and smashes it in. What a goal. Unbelievable. What a moment for Finners as his 12th goal of the season. His first in the FA Cup this campaign. It's one of them in it where as soon as he hits it, you know it's going into that top corner. Southampton fans behind the goal, absolutely wild.
Do you think that bloke's woke up?
Some effort if he slept through that. I mean, look at the scenes as well, just behind. What a moment for those Southampton fans. I mean, it's made even more mental by the fact that, you know, in the final they're either going to be playing, if they win this game of course, there's still 10 minutes left to go plus whatever fourth official adds on. Southampton will play, you know, either Leeds United, who they've beaten at Wembley quite recently, also, you know, still a team that's only just about survived relegation, we think, against, or a Chelsea side that seems to be in a bit of a crisis.
Well, let's not put the cart before the horse. The Southampton fans have had a moment, and you'll never take that away from them. But I have a feeling here that City get back into this. They've just been so overwhelmingly good. It's a joke, isn't it? I don't know what to do with myself. Anyway, it's Man City 0, Southampton 1, and and if Southampton get to the final, what a story! You know, they would almost deserve to just hand them the trophy. If you beat Arsenal, Man City on the way to an FA Cup final, you know, then you've done pretty well. But here come Man City here, trying to get there. Nico O'Reilly is a great man to have in the box. Great big unit there. He turns, his shot is blocked away. But that's going to put a spring in the step of the Southampton boys. But here's Savinho.
Yep, could be a chance now as Nunes finds it over towards Savinho. He's played it through as well. Nunes in a good position. Nunes back across goal. Again, the goalkeeper standing tall at his near post. He's really had to work for it as Peretz in this game. He's made some important saves. That one not going on target, but going across the face of goal and stops it. City have taken the corner quickly, as to be expected. It's Savinho darting inside. Reinders now finds Doku. Gonzalez about 30 yards from goal. Southampton still penned in. Nunes chips it towards the back post. Haaland is waiting, but he's not going to get there. Zaz heads it behind him towards Reinders. Doku. Gonzalez wants it. Doku might go alone. Doku's still going. Hits his shot. It's deflected, and it's gone into the back of the net. City have got their equaliser. It's Jeremy Doku, the substitute. They've been so good, but that goal really isn't a good one. It's been deflected. It's taken it past the reach of the goalkeeper, and City are back level.
Well, what way to get back into the game. They've been so precise and foot perfect at times, brilliant. And then deflection. Anybody could get a deflection. But you know what? All that sort of fancy down triangles, get shots in. You never know, do you? Doku then, instead of being widest out, he's stood on the inside. A little run around. And then that ball, it just takes a wicked deflection. It was always aimed on target, but it just made the ball loop up. But just past that despairing dive to his left of Daniel Peretz, he's dead unlucky. Southampton coming again, round the back.
Lyron inside the box now. He's got his back to goal. He lays it off. Matsuki! Oh! What a save that is from James Trafford. It's end-to-end stuff now. This game has burst into life. Matsuki, the substitute, getting on the end of it, edge of the box. What an effort that is with the left foot. And Trafford, I'm not sure if that's going to hit the bar, but he can't be sure, and he tips it over the bar.
I'm thinking it's just going. It's creasing underneath that crossbar and going in. But what an effort that was, and he hit it fiercely, and it needed saving, didn't it? I think. So it's a corner kick, another opportunity here. Then can Cienza deliver a good ball in? They haven't. I don't think they've had a corner today, have they?
No, I don't remember them having one. This might be the first one that they've had this game. Can they make it count as well? It's the Brazilian Cienza to take it. Up goes the arm. It's the out-swinging effort from him as well towards the back post. Could be a chance for Wood, who gets up for it. He's not quite got there. Hooked back into an area. Shea Charles surely offside. Haaland regathers it, and City play on from the advantage. They've possibly got a 2-on-2 if they can play it right. It's Jeremy Doku sprinting forward, tries to play it through to Cherki. That time the Belgian just couldn't quite find his man. Good defending actually from Jan, who gets in the way of it. I mean, this is end-to-end stuff now compared to the first half, which was rather not boring, was it? It wasn't boring, but it was very slow, very flat. This game is it's on everything now.
Well, it was a game with a few chances. It was domination, some good play from City, and the odd breakout from Southampton, which reminded us that they got a chance. And that was it, you know. But very little to suggest the sort of high drama that we were going to get. As again, Savinho getting around the back there, and Matsuki just at the very end of it all, just able to win the ball, and that's brilliant from Nunez, and he burst the byline. Wow, but it's just, I mean, goals make games, don't they? The shot from Zaz is good enough to win a cup final by itself, and it's so typical, isn't it? I mean, done all that you get a stuffy big deflection and ball just ballooning up. Docker doesn't care, does he? He doesn't care what happened to that, as long as it goes in. And the City fans beginning to think Wembley's not our friend, maybe changing their mind. Bernardo Silva now comes on for Tijani Reinders, who may be flattered to deceive a little bit. But, well, Bernardo's out the top drawer.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really made the most of his chance, has he, in this game? Tijani Reinders will have wanted to have a big of an impact on it. Bernardo Silva on the pitch now, so it's looking a lot more like the full-strength City team that we know of. played forward. Charles can't bring it down under his spell, so it's going to be Doku instead to try and bring it away. That's a free kick though, committed by James Bree. We're into the final 5 minutes at Wembley. It's 1-1 between Man City and Southampton. What an impact, by the way, the substitute Matsuki has made for Southampton. He got the assist for Finisaz's goal. He's almost scored as well. Good bit of defending. He's having to go up against Savino now, who's actually got past him. Now towards Nunes. City players waiting in the box in the form of Haaland, but it's going to be Cherki. He's got round Yandu as well. He chips it towards Haaland. It's a header away by Nathan Wood. James Bree doesn't take any chances. He's put that one behind for a corner. Didn't want to risk it in any way. Haaland almost getting a sight.
Yeah, I think we're back to where we were. They're going to take the corner kick short. They just don't faff about with it, do they? Don't bother putting it in. And off we go again. Doku down to the byline, and a great touch back. And here a chance for John Stones. Lays it back, shot comes in. That's blocked away.
Yeah, it was Gonzalez, wasn't it, who had the shot on the edge of the area. Not probably the player that City want in that position, but as Silva comes forward now into Doku. Now Gonzalez again. Might hit the shot this time. He does! Oh, what a goal! Nico Gonzalez with an absolute rocket. I just mentioned that he doesn't usually like to shoot, and he's just absolutely rifled one past Daniel Perrit. City have completed the turnaround. It's Manchester City 2, Southampton 1.
My God, that nearly took the roof off the net, didn't it? He couldn't have hit that any harder, could he? And if he's hitting it hard like that, then, you know, he's absolutely middle. Oh, it's a poor little kid there, Southampton kid, absolutely balling. Like I said, I was thinking, well, you've had your goal to enjoy. I just never, the way that City have played, I didn't know when the goals were going to come, but I just thought that they were. But that is out the top drawer. He takes a look, sight it. I'm going to put it right in the top there. And that ball is always on the rise. It's still rising when it hits the back of the net. That's how sweetly and how firmly. No goalkeeper saves that. No goalkeeper. And what a hit. What is he, about 25, 30 yards out there? It's an absolute pile drive. But what a goal.
Yep, second goal of the season for Nico Gonzalez. It's his first ever goal in the FA Cup, actually. And what a time to have scored it. 2 minutes or so left of normal time, and City look like they've just about got away with it. There's tears in the Southampton end, and you can hardly blame them as well. Around 10 minutes ago, they were in absolute dreamland and thinking they were going to be heading to an FA Cup final. And City have just stolen it from them. 2 minutes left to go. Can Southampton rally and produce the response? I mean, two of the goals we've seen in this game, by the way, absolutely top drawer. Get anything like that in the game tomorrow between Chelsea and Leeds, will have been treated to it. They are going to make a double change at the end though now, Southampton. Just two final throws of the dice. Just need to see who it is that's actually coming on. Cameron Archer and Samuel Edozie are being readied. Interesting to see who's coming off. I think James Bree is one of them. He's put a real shift in at right back. Tom Fellows is also going to come off in place of Edozie. So a chance for them to bring this one back for Southampton. Cameron Archer will be quite a recognisable player as well. Has had stints in the Premier League with Southampton. Also at Sheffield United, was on the books at Aston Villa, wasn't he? Quite some time ago. Southampton attacking as well. And here is Shea Charles, a deflected ball into the box. Ake can't stop that one from going out. It's going to be a corner for Southampton. Into the final minute now of regulation time. Can they get themselves an equaliser?
I tell you what, well, the first half was interesting, but the second half has been so dramatic and enjoyable with great goals and all that, and twists and turns. It's really lived up to what it should be, you know, an FA Cup semi-final, and if this goes in, the roof will come off Wembley again.
Certainly will. It's going to be Cienzo again to take it. The outswinging corner goes again towards the back edge of the box. Ake doesn't take any chances again. He heads it behind for another corner. Taylor Howard-Bellis was arriving round the back, but just couldn't quite get there. The Southampton captain. Southampton with their second corner in succession. Cienzo this time though, he's going to have to come to this near side rather than go all the way to the far side. In swinger this time, Southampton's number 13. Is it going to be on the money? Wood, Howard-Bellis, Laren, all good targets in the box if they can be found. Cienzo, it's towards the goalkeeper, it's headed away. Cherki might be able to bring this one clear. He's slotted it through for Jeremy Doku, who's in a foot race with Edozie. The goalkeeper, he's come miles out. Jeremy Doku, surely big chance. He's got round Edozie. Goalkeeper's not there. Doku's still going up towards the edge of the box. Lays it off for Savino inside the area. Savino, it's blocked on the line. Matsuki with the block. Jeremy Doku somehow not scoring. I thought he was going to go for goal. No idea what the goalkeeper was thinking. 7 minutes have been added on in the meantime. I'll get John's thoughts on that in just a moment. Southampton now are going up the other end. Chance, Azaz, left-footed ball into the area. Aki with the clearance this time, and well, City should be able to get it out. O'Reilly down the line. Doku in so much space. The kit is so stretched at the moment. Cherky up towards the edge of the box now. Cherky on his right foot goes for the strike. It's blocked and comes back out to Doku. He'll be a little bit more defensive with the pass to Silver, and John, somehow it's still 2-1.
I think when you see the keeper go barreling past you, and then you think, well, there's nobody in goal. Then I'd be thinking, just toe put it as far toward goal as I can. And somehow Doku just kept running with it. But here Nick O'Reilly's got round the back here. They could kill it off with Savinho, and he didn't quite get the touch. Haaland nods it back across. Southampton should be able to clear their lines.
Yeah, they should do. Yander was taking it back on himself, though. Now found Matsuki. He was the man who made the block as well on the goal line. Great defending again from the substitute. He had a great impact since coming on, as I was alluding to a little bit earlier. Ball played forward. Archer with his back to Gonzalez. He still keeps hold of it. It's great play as well from Cameron Archer. He finds Azaz, and again the game becoming incredibly stretched. It's Shea Charles and Nadoze who are now charging down that right-hand side. Larin waiting for it in the box. Ball across the face of goal. John Stones with the clearance. O'Reilly, will he just about keep that in? He will. Big defending though from Man City's captain.
Yeah, absolutely. There, that's an inch away, isn't it? And for being a great ball. And if they could have had a bit more of the ball going forward, you just never know today, do you? We're looking at the shot from behind Nico Gonzalez. You just don't stop it. It's one of those, when he hits it, both feet are off the ground. It's like, right, I'm going to go for power. And amazingly, and he looked straight up, and he was looking right into the top corner, thinking, right, okay, I'm on sight. I've got my sight set for that, and then he's absolutely smashed it right into where he was looking, and it's just astonishing. And they've done so well to block off shots from nearer, but you don't expect it to be coming from like 25, 30 yards out like that, do you?
Especially not when it's Nico Gonzalez as well, a player who, as I said, doesn't usually like to shoot in those situations. Maybe he should start doing it a bit more. And
usually Guardiola be screaming at him, don't shoot from there.
Yeah.
Because he used to do that with Company, didn't he?
It reminds me of that goal against Leicester that he scored when he absolutely rifled it into the top right corner. Taylor Howard-Bellis, meanwhile, has picked up a yellow card for a foul. The City were on the counter-attack. It's Bernardo Silva who takes it short. Now here is Gonzalez, who's been awarded player of the match by the TV. Guardiola is pretty much on the pitch again as a foul is given for his side. Absolutely screaming at his players. His blood pressure is about to go through the roof if it already hasn't. He have looped it over towards Doku on that far side. Up against Nadoze, trying to weave his way in and out. He's played it off of Shea Charles last as well, so it's going to be a corner. I mean, Jeremy Doku, I think, was a good shout from man of the match as well, the way that he's changed it. He's been absolutely sensational since coming on. That's what we said as well, didn't it? We thought he's one of the game changers. Yeah,
well, we just looked at their bench, and it's just a joke, wasn't it? I mean, they had stronger players on the bench than they started with, which is unusual. The players that they replaced did all right. Foden was the only player disappointed really for City today. Everybody else had played really well, and then some of them have been excellent, haven't they? Gonzalez's goal, well, you make him man of the match just for that. It's a colossal hit, and it's changed the game. And now they've got a corner.
They certainly do. They take it short as well. With Doku, moves towards the byline. Shown the other way though. There, Baiti does it. To play it off his man. Southampton have done well to win it back. Azaz tries to spin and Cherky has nicked it off him. Not foul given for that one. Cherky will now back it into the corner flag. Has to play it off the man, but doesn't quite manage to do so. About 2.5 minutes left until the end of this game. Southampton rapidly running out of time to get themselves back level and force this one to extra time. It's not looking good though for the time being. The faces in the Southampton end tell the story. Played forward. Larin does really well. He's sort of sent to the ground there. Southampton should get a free kick for that. Surely blocked off was Finn Azaz. I think he has given it in the end there, Craig Poss. He had a long, hard think about it. He has finally given it though. Southampton can try and get forward now. Goalkeeper going all the way up for it as well. So Shea Charles is going to launch this one straight up into the box. Big moment Southampton. Might be the final chance of this FA Cup semi-final. Herritz is actually talking to the bench now. He might be even going back towards the halfway line. So they've clearly thought otherwise with that set-piece opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's too much that.
Yeah, it was too far back, wasn't it? Masuki takes it, headed on by Harwood Bellis. Saki gets it clear though. Nunes with a more substantial one. It's only towards Yanda though. Southampton will come again. Yanda gets round Savinho. Still going is the midfielder. Savinho has nicked it off him, but Yanda keeps on going. Great perseverance from him. Fortunately for him though, loses out eventually. Gonzalez now taking it forward. Haaland's got space to run into down the right side. Plays a 1-2. Oh, 1-2, just plays it straight to Cherky. Continues his run. Might have been in an offside position, but the ball goes all the way through towards Peretz eventually anyway. We're into the final minute of this FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Still City 2, Southampton 1. One last chance for Southampton to take it to extra time. It's a back heel down the line for Cienza as well. He's up against Nunes, tries to turn round, goes to the ground as well. He's not going to get the free kick that he wants though. Maybe a little bit soft.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and fair play there to Craig Pawson. I think the referee's actually had a decent game. Yeah, Sien's looking too much. Just a tiny little touch off Nunes, but not enough. He flung himself to the ground really, and referee said more or less behave. Final seconds of the game. Tonda Eckert's team have given a real good account of themselves, but it's just not quite been enough. But City have deserved to win the game.
Yeah, they've been completely dominant. I mean, they could have had a lot more than 2 goals in this game. It's a miracle that Southampton have been able to take it this far. Trafford with this goal kick now. I imagine he'll send it long, and that will be the end of it. It is as well. Craig Pawson blows the whistle and puts to an end a very dramatic FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Southampton took the lead through Finazaz, an absolute screamer from the Irish international. City hit back though. Jeremy Doku's deflected effort finding the bottom corner before an absolute pile driver from Nico Gonzalez means that Manchester City are in the FA Cup final. It's Man City 2, Southampton 1.